Hey there. Hey there, friends. Welcome. I feel like a empowered lesbian. I feel like I am some sort of feminist. I don't like the way these glasses look on camera. These are, of course, the Ray-Bans, the brand new Ray-Bans that allow you to record shit, and they have the notifications. When I get a notification, it pops up in my ear, which is kind of interesting considering my ears aren't covered. But I don't like the way they look on camera. Now that I'm looking at them, I look like I'm part of your feminist, your resident feminist movement, which I'm the complete opposite of. I'm Arabic. We have absolutely no regard for women. If you had to fill my gas tank up, which with my regard for women, it wouldn't take you far. And that's what these glasses are projecting. I feel like I'm some sort of I'm the leader of a Antifa sect in my local neighborhood. That's what I look like. I guess we're starting off pretty aggressive here. Welcome to the show. It's a Tuesday. The PigCast. It's a show where I typically treat it as my therapy, where I rant about things that I come across on the internet and that I like to complain about, because that's my job here on this particular platform. If you're not watching this live, you're missing out. You really are missing out. You're missing out with this sort of interactivity, as a matter of fact. Let me read some of the comments. This is why thumb tips are practical. You could hide wounded, infected fingers. That is true. That is true. That is another thing that I want to discuss about my finger. Got my missing pieces in this week. Absolutely fire. Of course, referring to the missing piece deck, which you could find linked down below. We're finishing most of the giving of the cards, most of the shipping of the cards sometime this week. So there are a bunch of people that still haven't gotten back to me, which is kind of weird. There's a nice chunk of people, I would say maybe 10 people, that haven't gone back to me out of the whole campaign, with addresses and things like that. There were a couple that needed to update some fees for shipping. One that got kind of pissed at me, which is very interesting, even though the shipping that I requested was like $10, but it adds up, especially when it's coming out of my pocket. At this point, I've made no money on the deck. I thought I was going to give you guys a generous estimate as to how much I made on this campaign, and I said $200. That might have been stretching it. I made I owe money. I owe money on these cards, which is fine. It's okay. It's part of it, but that's a fun thing. But you can get yours down below, linked down below. The post Kickstarter missing piece deck available on umeplayingcards.com, Daniel's website, my former co-host for ham radio. And you could pick up the cards there. My fucking goodness. Once they're gone, they're gone. Let's see here. I did want to mention that I cut my finger, and the retarded part was that I was using one of these sharpeners. So these are a pull-through sharpener that typically you put it on the table and you pass it through like this, right? And it has two sides, a tungsten carbonite, and then we have what looks like to be a ceramic. And you're supposed to pull it through. I was using it like this. And I was because the knife that I was using is a shitty IKEA knife, so I was putting a lot of pressure, thinking that I needed to put a new edge in that bitch. And I pulled through, and I almost chopped the top of my finger clean off. And it wouldn't stop bleeding, it wouldn't stop, so I had to go to CVS, buy some super glue. It was retarded. Let's see here. I'm going to be the last one to get the fucking cards. No. There's some people that are definitely still waiting as far as... what do you call this? Still waiting as far as their addresses. So they're going to be the ones that gets the cards, that they get the cards last. You can also use a diamond tip rod on it. Well, that's the other thing that I got that I was testing out. So I was testing out the differences in sharpeners because I'm retarded. So this one in particular is, that's funny because that's pretty close. Totally writing. But also I need to pick up an order that was sent back. Now that I remembered, I need to pick up an order that was sent back. But apart from that, I use this. This is a diamond husky that lets you sharpen knives well. And I was testing this out, and I was also testing this out. This is one of these puppies that essentially let you sharpen it. And I was testing all of these out, but like a retard, I decided to test out this push-through one in a way that you're not supposed to use it. And I almost lost my magical career because of it. But luckily, super glue came to the rescue. and I figured it out. I didn't stop bleeding for about 2 hours. But that's the retardation of that. We have a lot of voicemails that I got to catch up on. I'm willing to bet that the majority of them are going to be joke voicemails from, I don't know, penis enlargement bits, unfunny bits at this point. Let's see here. You look like an empowered lesbian. Thank you for that. Oh, yeah, the finger vagina. Yes, it does resemble a finger vagina. Why are we calling PigCake now? As he mentioned earlier video that his wound looked like some female private parts. Finger flaps is my suggestion. That is true. That is true. I could technically have sex with this. My friend is a chef and he hates those pull-through sharpeners. He says that they're really dangerous. He uses whetstones, which is technically what this allows you to get something similar to, right? Because you are supposed to technically put the knife on this. I use it like this on it. And I've tried a bunch of different ways with a shitty knife, but I'm learning. But the push-through ones or the pull-through ones apparently don't keep an edge. So that's why I've learned from my retardation and my virginity from that. I guess we'll start with a voicemail. This is the last one, the most recent one from Slatzer, speaking of. So let's see what Slatzer has to say from 5 days ago.
Hi, Peggy. Just a quick message to explain why I do the timestamps. I started listening to you and watching your videos years ago.
First of all, very, very posh voice. Very, very soothing. I'd love for you to read me an audiobook. I'm reading the 007 books right now. I'm at Moonraker. So I've already read Casino Royale and You Only Live Twice, or Live and Let Die, rather. Live and Let Die. And right now I'm in Moonraker. And the voice that they have there is very sultry. He's like a very sort of soothing British voice. And I feel the same from you. My goodness, Slatzer.
And I did a couple of your tricks in the playground at the school I taught at, and the kids absolutely loved them, and it was brilliant. But I'm not a magician in any way, shape, or form, but I really enjoyed them. And what was brilliant was the presentation. Unlike every other magic tutorial video, I really sort of liked your huge sense of humor and things. Anyway, after COVID, I had to give up my job to look after my elderly father, and watching your videos and messing about with cards and things was a way I could pass the time in between looking after him and doing those sorts of things. And I really appreciated it. And if I was working, I probably would have subscribed to your academy and stuff, but I couldn't afford it. And then one day I was messing about in the comments and you liked the timestamps. And I thought, well, I can't do anything else, but I could maybe do something that you enjoyed. So that's why I do it. It's not autism. It's me trying to give back a little that in a way that I can. And I'm glad that you appreciate them. Anyway, just thought I'd let you know. Bye-bye.
I appreciate that. If you haven't, I'll probably end up sending you some cards just as a thank you for doing all of those. So I do appreciate it. And obviously, you know, it's a trials and tribulations of life. And I do appreciate your timestamps. But I do want to thank you. And I will send you stuff, including the trick that I'm coming out with and some cards if that acts as a consolation. But I do appreciate the nice comments every once in a while as to, you know, my channel and how it's affected you positively, even though I have to swim through a sea of just retardation. And let's see, this one's anonymous, so let me give you an example. I'm willing to bet, I haven't heard this next voicemail, I'm willing to bet that it's going to be 8. So let's see.
Hey, Piggy. I had a few questions about the missing piece deck I got in the mail.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was wrong. Surprisingly not. It's seems to be one. It could still lead into some potential N-bombs. Like last time, I think somebody dropped an N-bomb and an F-bomb. Of course, a British cigarette, a term for British cigarette, which I would be fine with because I'm a supporter of free speech. But here on YouTube, unfortunately, we have no free speech. So let's see what Anonymous has to say here.
First, what is that white square in the corner? Is there like a reason that that's there? I don't really mind it. I think it looks cool. Second is the USPC tuck seals, those stickers. Have you ever considered making the deck without those stickers? Again, I don't really mind it. I love the deck. And third, what rhymes with bigger? What rhymes with bigger? Have a good stream.
You see, you had me there in the first. You had me there in the beginning. And then you just came in with some heat. So if you notice and you look at your missing piece deck, there is a square that is in the upper left corner of the deck. Now, there is a big significance in that square, in that it is a error. It is a mistake that I didn't catch when I was looking at the proofs. I thought that it was just a frame, like a little thing. No, there is a mistake. So if you look at it, that's not supposed to be there. That is an artifact from the line in the back. So if you notice, there's a line here from the back design, and that carries off in the front. That's something I missed. Also, the sticker that comes on these, the little packaging, they were extra. They were extra. Nothing's free, my friends. I've realized nothing is free in this world. And if they offer you something, it's at a cost. And one thing that I might consider is maybe having my logo on it on future decks. They also added this, which is funny, the little manufacturing thing. I wanted just a clean bottom and a clean side, but they added their little thing saying manufactured in the United States Playing Card Company. I also wanted to have the term for British cigarette printed on the inside, but unfortunately, they're very a family-friendly company. I'm sure if I could print with China, they probably won't give a shit as to what I'll put on cards. But alas, it was a mistake to answer the question. If you look at your... It's an Easter egg. It's an Easter egg on top of it. So if you want, you could consider it as a little Easter egg. But that, I hope, answers all of your questions. Let me look through the comments here. We have a lot of action-packed topics to go through, by the way. So I realized that this might be a bigger show or a longer show. I used to talk utter drivel on the radio for a living. True, but a dull fact. I naturally have one of those up and down infection voices. Yeah, I know. Oh, one of those things where you have interrogatives at the end of every question. Or sorry, at the end of every statement. Voice of an angel. Slatzer, you got to do radio. That is true. Definitely better than mine. My voice sounds like... I've heard it today. I sent a voicemail to a shoddy, and I heard it back, and I sound nasally. And then here's the worst part. I do videos, obviously, and I have a lisp. It sounds like I have a lisp. I don't have a lisp, though, but it sounds like I have a lisp. And then I use a voice enhancer that uses AI or whatever the fuck, and it makes my lisp sound stronger. So it makes me sound like I have a thing, one of these things.
This is the neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
So I guess we should start with this one, I guess, in reference to the glasses. This is a character that I've came across many times. Her name is Fran Lebowitz. I hate her. She's this dumb, I'm sure feminists probably hate her too. She's so feminist that she turns off feminist. And she's this brazen idiot. And here's a video of her talking about how hair dye is inherently sexist. What? My goodness. So let me go here. Smooth transition, my friends. Look at this dumb cunt.
I dye my hair. But I think you said that men doing the same thing is repulsive.
Repulsive.
Why? What's the difference?
Okay, because we, meaning humans, are used to artificial women. Okay?
But you're not artificial. You haven't changed your face. You're American. You haven't even changed your face.
No, I haven't. But I mean, in general...
You have a consistent wardrobe that is for you, not for others.
Right. But artifice in women is something people don't even really notice.
Artifice in a woman. Shut up.
Women wear makeup, even girls do. Some men wear makeup, and you notice it right away. Okay. Also, it's unfair.
Why is it repulsive?
Because it's greedy. In other words, like, oh, we gave you the world, men. That's not enough. You also have to have dark hair. And also you can always tell. I mean, you can tell women do it too, but you don't register it in the same way. I mean, it's not that I'm 73. No one my age has still dark hair. No one. So my hair went gray at a very early age. It's one of the things I inherited from my mother. In fact, the only thing I inherited from my mother's family. But
what a miserable woman. I don't know. I just saw that and couldn't help but get angry. God fucking A. And what sucks is that I looked at her and it reminded me of the glasses that I now possess. When I went to Sunglass Hope, my friend, I'm there picking out the best ones. I got the wrong one, by the way. She gave me the incorrect pair first, and I had to return them and get these. because I didn't want to wait for the black ones, and I thought these kind of look cool with the darker sunglasses on them. But then I changed the prescription to fit mine from an old pair of glasses. I look like I represent a group of lesbians nearby, which there's nothing wrong with. Not that there's anything wrong with, but although just a quick review, they're probably the best thing I might have ever purchased in my entire life. I use them for videos. Obviously, they record video here. It's annoying because they have a notification, as I mentioned before, so I can't secretly record girls like at the battered women's shelter. I can't record them secretly, which is a shame because they know that I'm recording. And even if I cover the little thing that's a notification that shows a light, it says no, I can't record. You need to show the notification because Meta's essentially, a word that I can't say. But they're phenomenal. The music, it sounds like it's in my head. It's loud. So I tried it on the motorcycle, and it pretty much blasts over the motorcycle. It's very, very impressive. And the video quality is also pretty good for having a sensor the size of my butthole. So I'm impressed. If you're in the market for something that allows you to see and listen to music. You can't have earphones while you're riding a bike, but this is perfectly fine. The worst part about these is that if you're directly in front of me and I have the music blaring, I can't hear you. Even though my ears are exposed, I can't hear you. So you would argue that these are pretty dangerous too. But no, earphones are not allowed on a motorcycle. Shut up. My goodness. There's a lot of retardation when it comes to that. But I just saw that video and it reminded me of my own glasses and the fact that I look like I look a little bit like I like women, which I do, but I look like a. Let me just. All right, let's hear some comments here. That's pretty neat, says Manel. I hate my voice, said Slatzer. You shouldn't hate your voice. Your voice is sultry. I wish I had your voice, apart from the accent. If you had sort of an American cadence to you, you'd probably get so much. You'd be swimming in that, what do we call them? We call it puss. You'd be swimming in the puss. Nicholas Jordan says, PigCake got Neuralink and isn't allowed to tell us he's using glasses as a cover. Well, the smart features of these glasses are kind of retarded because you have to say loudly. Also, the phone thing is unbelievable. You look crazy because you look like you're talking to yourself. But the reason I got AirPods is because I wanted a microphone. So I wanted a microphone that I could hear and listen when I talk to people on the phone. And it sounds like shit. It sounds like hot garbage. These, somebody told me that it sounds like I'm in a studio because it has 5 mics. So it's very, very impressive what you pack into this for a 6-hour battery life and under $300, I would say. So very, very impressive. Not a bad shout. That actually, Slatzer does have a good neutral narration voice. See, there you go. You have fans here, Slatzer. Manel Lazy is one of my favorites. Let's Read, Being Scared, and Mortis Media. Do you listen to Lazy Masquerade? I don't know what that is. Corn Pop, I guess, made a reference. I listen to a lot of horror story narration channels, and I fall asleep to that. Let's see what I fall asleep to. I probably fall asleep to alternative right radio. Let's see. The more recent things is a channel called Lamino. I also fall asleep to wrestling podcasts and Internet Historian, and also Down the Rabbit Hole with Frederick Knudsen. That's what I fall asleep to. Also Old Opie and Anthony I fall asleep to, and Wendigoon. So that's what I fall asleep to. And I wake up having ridiculous nightmares. Toby says, no, PigCake, I'm not Australian, but I do have one of those awful DJ voices. Hey, it paid for my house, you know? That's good. I wish that I have a voice for sorry, I have a face for rate. Fuck. I have a face for radio, I've been told. What else is here? The title of this video is Hoeflation, but I guess we'll fall... Piggy falls asleep to Steven Crowd. I don't know. I actually haven't seen Crowd in a while. Ever since he had the whole divorce arc. I don't know. Because he was always big on like marriage and you got to find a partner and all this stuff. And then he's getting divorced, which I understand sometimes is a necessity, but you can't really be a tradcon dude and then spout for divorce, you know? But I'm still a fan. I'll hear his stuff from time to time. Speaking of a fan, Miami Oh, Nexpo. Yeah, Nexpo is pretty cool, but he's too like, I don't know. There's something about him that really turns me off. But there's speaking of something that I love. This is what I love. I've seen this here in person. You know that Miami is a fake it till you make it city. Our unattractive girls are very, very attractive in other places. You know, you would see a Miami girl and you would think, damn, that's a supermodel. And here they're like fours. They're fours and fives to us that we live here. It's a very vain city. Girls are always done up. They take care of themselves. And even our police officers. I remember seeing a police officer as I was riding by my bike, and I fell in love with this woman. She looked beautiful. She could be retarded. Why did she choose to be a police officer and risk her life? She could be a model. And I guess this is a perfect example of that. This is Miami-Dade. At least it looks like Miami-Dade. So let me show you what I'm looking at. Seems to be some sort of incident.
I'm getting arrested. I don't know what the hell going on. They got bomb hemmed up. God, die, y'all.
I know that it's a little bit too much, right? The surgery. I think that had she probably just had it naturally, it would be astonishing. This is obviously a surgical butt, but what is this? How do you get arrested by this? My goodness. And you know she'll shoot you. You know that she's trying to make up for the fact that she's always getting looked at, so she'll definitely shoot you. But look at that. I would last 5 seconds. I wouldn't even last putting on the condom with that. My goodness. And you're out here. This is definitely Miami-Dade. Look at the cop. Look at the cop. Oh, did he look at the guy and he not? No, I thought he looked at the guy and gave him a very negative face. I'm trying to think as to where this is. Just based on this. This looks almost like... No, I can't tell what it is. Definitely not the beach. But my goodness. Even our cops are hot. How do you get arrested by that? And then you obviously have all the gross people. Arrest me, officer. Arrest me. Yo, arrest me. Even the male officers are very attractive. Our male cops are pretty poppies, as they say. Down here, I've seen some good, attractive dudes. Although I do have a good friend that's a cop, and they all look the same. They all look the same. Satchel says, Daniel, hold up. Wowzer, dump truck. Okay, I'm glad you also got distracted by the dump truck. That was that. Senor Pigo didn't used to be a teacher. I was a teacher back in my previous life, back in 2017, until they fired me. Because, as I've mentioned before, my drunk vice principal didn't like that I was talking about money, even though they were stealing money, this school, from through a donation thing. You had to donate for hours. It was a whole thing. And I made a passing comment. About it. And that spun, it snowballed. And I got fired as a scapegoat. And then they got caught for it months later. So funny enough how that happens. And then the assistant principal got transferred because she was drinking wine on the job. She would go to the local store, buy a bottle of wine, pour it in a thermos, and she was getting hammered and telling me, forgetting her kids in soccer practice, by the way, forgetting her kids existed while she was getting hammered, texting seniors, by the way, don't know about that, and fucking telling me that I'm not good and I should really reconsider my career choices. God, what a fuck. Satchel says, wow, you've grown so much, dog. I miss you. Hey, man. Right back at you, bro. I do understand that I look a little bit different, right, since the beginning of the channel. I've grown up a little bit in the sense of I got my tats. I got some tats, right? Luckily, I don't have magician tattoos. And I will never get magician tattoos because that might be the cringiest thing of them all. Every time I see somebody with a tattoo that says your card, or it's like, oh, it's a 4 of hearts. So I could do one of these. Look, watch. Look, 4 of hearts. I could put it in my palm and then press it against my... And then when I lift it up, you see the... if you were wrongfully accused, why didn't you sue for wrongful termination? Probably because I was retarded. I didn't join the union. And also because I don't think I was wrongfully terminated. I think that they fired me for not showing up. I think they told me not they just said, we can't have you here anymore. I never sent my resignation letter. They told me, hey, you got to do your resignation letter. And I didn't do that. I'm like, all right, I don't work for you anymore. So I didn't do that. And I think they ended up firing me for not showing up, which is a hypothesis. I can't prove that, but they never had a paper trail on me. They never wrote me up for anything. Also, unfortunately, my contract was very predatory because it was a certain type of school. My contract said that they could essentially revoke my my position for anything that they deem worthy. So it was very predatory. So I probably did have some grounds to do some sort of suit, but I was going to do a documentary on it, by the way. I was so upset that I remember they also fired some other people for similar reasons, and I was going to go around because there's a lot of corruption in that industry. It is an industry, believe it or not. There was a lot of corruption going on in a company-wide. I guess that's a hint as to the type of school that I worked for. But this one was very predatory, and I would almost consider, again, my opinion, that it was some sort of real estate thing. It was some sort of real estate, I don't want to use the word scam, but it was a real estate opportunity for the company, the parent company. So there was a lot of shadiness going on, and there's a lot of shadiness still going on with that. Correct height-wise, no change, but maturity-wise, no change it looks. Glow up, apart from the lesbian glasses that I'm possessing, Satchel, but always good to see you around. Much like I see a lost woman. Why did I write lost women in my notes here? Again, usually these are in reference to things that I've seen. Lost woman. This one. Yeah, this is nuts. Now, I'm not a survivalist by any means. If you put me in a forest, I'll probably end up getting lost. But this is just odd. This is just strange to me. So here the tweet is in reference to a woman that she was lost in 17 days in a forest of Maui after a 3 mile hike turned into an ordeal. And there's a lot of people talking about how Maui is especially those forests are very, very easy to navigate around. Even the forest. Now, granted, yes, you're in a forest. Everything looks the same. But 17 days? It says you could walk around the entire island in like 2 days. And it shows a map here, I guess, if you want to call it that, of, by the way, let me just scroll through my favorites here and expose myself. But this shows you, I guess, an example of a hike, right? Some sort of hike, a long hike in the island of Maui. And 17 days, and she ended up looking like this. So she went from this, which is just a immaculate shoddy, to emaciated. Obviously, she hasn't eaten well. She was in some sort of situation where she got sunburned, but people were clowning her essentially for being lost. Now, it reminds me when I was in Peter Turner's house. Now, this has only, I guess, to do with it as to how easily you could get lost. I remember I was bragging in Peter Turner's house as to how good I am in the game GoldenEye. 007 GoldenEye for the N64, and I said I could probably beat the first level blindfolded. I could probably beat it blindfolded. And I remember I closed my eyes and I started the level, and I'm like, okay, in my head I'm navigating through where I need to be. And then I go, am I doing good? Am I doing good? And he goes, yeah, man, you're doing great. And he said it with such a straight voice that I felt like I was doing great. And then I go, shit, I think I'm stuck. I don't know where I'm at. I'm going to open my eyes. And when I opened my eyes, I was doing circles in the first part of the level. I hadn't moved. I was just doing this in the first part of the level. So I guess you could stretch that and extrapolate that to the forests of Maui. But 17 days you're lost. And from my understanding, she was always within 2 miles of civilization, whether a road or a beach. She was always within 2 miles of a civilization, which is crazy to me that you could get lost in that sort of way. Now, again, if you're somebody that's into survivalism, you might be in agreement with her, because if you're in a forest, if you've ever been, you see that there's nothing in any direction. It just looks the same, and she was very unlucky. So, I don't know. Let's see some other comments here. I'm going to make bank with a Crowder/Megyn Kelly AI porn. I would love to smell Megyn Kelly. She is unbelievably attractive. I listen to Crowder on Rumble most days at work. He's pretty funny. He is pretty funny. He is pretty funny. I'll give him that. But some takes are a little bit too much. That I'm like, all right, you're impassioned about things that are a little bit over the top. I remember one time after the protests, he was shitting on a guy for doing graffiti. And at the time, I'm like, yeah, fuck all these idiots for protesting for a crackhead. But then you see there's some guy just drawing. It's I think in Houston. I'm like, that's normal. And he was really as if he had a gotcha moment with a dude that was doing some graffiti because he didn't have permission. I remember seeing that. I'm like, going through here, and a voice for print, says Jason Heist. Thank you for that. Fuck. Night Strike Khmer says South Beach. South Beach. Maybe that could be South Beach, but I thought that they would have their own Miami Beach police. That seems like a type of thing that they would have, like a Miami Beach police, like a very specific one. Let's go through this as well. Slatcher says LeBron James has a school. Not a single child passed maths at the school. Has to be some kind of financial jiggery pokery going on there. Yeah, I've heard of it, that the average passing rate is not existing. And I think it's like an F school. So there's some sort of weird nefarious grounds there. You get disoriented in the wilderness, then that's it. You're done for. That is true. That is true. But I do remember just doing circles, and I found that hysterically funny that I thought he was with me. Peter helping me. He's like, yeah, no, you're doing great. You're doing great. And when I open my eyes, he's not even paying attention. He's on his phone. And I was doing circles. Fuck. Corn Pop says, what do you mean by certain type of school? Like it was Liberty City or Overtown? No, a certain type of school, like a charter school. All right, I'll say that. It was a charter school. And charter schools have parent companies. And this one is, I would say, the cusp of shadiness. Dig deep in shadiness behind the scenes. Speaking of dig deep in shadiness, that has nothing to do with the next topic. So I guess we'll listen to a voicemail. This one is from Anonymous. It's 5 seconds. So let's see what this blesses me with.
The fats are ruining the world. I hate them. The fats are ruining...
Fats. Okay, fats. I agree. Now, there is a gun cock sound there that I'm not necessarily in agreement with. Yeah, I don't say shoot them, but definitely keep them away from our eyeballs until they lose a significant amount of weight. That's what I would say. I don't want to see you. I'm with Milo Yiannopoulos on this, where he's like, I don't want to see them, in a very posh. He's like anti-gay now, which is kind of weird, even though he's very, very gay. Nothing wrong with that. Again, nothing wrong with that. But he's very anti-gay now, even though he was a very, very gay man, if you're familiar with his works. But he's a very fatphobe person where he's like, I don't even want to see you in public until you lose weight. And I agree with that. I don't want to see you in public until you are at a healthy weight. So it's for your own good. There's another message here.
Buy those playing cards, people, or we won't get more. Also, the PigCake Magic Academy has over 1,200 videos already uploaded, designed to make you an expert
1,500 videos.
magician. There is an endless list of content, moves, tricks, and ideas that you get access to the moment you sign up, and Piggy uploads every single week. In fact, he probably uploaded a video as you were hearing this, so check it out.
Yeah, that's all true. Although I did upload a video today, but I didn't upload it as you heard that. But I did upload a video today on a good transposition. There's a really good transposition with a copper silver style thing. So if you like that, you should check out the PigCake Magic Academy. Here's another one by Anonymous, 43 seconds.
Just wanted to apologize for my last voicemail. It was not funny, and I'm deeply ashamed. I've only left a couple voicemails on this channel, and I usually have a couple outtakes, and the send and re-record buttons were right next to each other, so I just accidentally hit send, even though I knew before I finished recording that was not great. So I understand you're of Arabic descent, so I just wanted to say, wallahi, you're getting effort from me on the next one. And I wanted to apologize to all the viewers who had to listen to that. The joke wasn't funny. Racism isn't funny. Casual racism is still racism. And most importantly, I wanted to apologize to all the black people that the joke made. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Ah!
Get my books. My books are also available. Art of the Squeal and The View from Down Here. They're available. I'm still working on my other one in a snail's pace. I just updated a chapter. I forgot what the chapter was. It was not a transposition. It was a different trick that I was just working on. That book is obviously called Hams and Fantasies. And hopefully it's going to be available before the end of the year. We'll see at the rate that I'm working on it. But based on the profits from the Kickstarter, I probably need to come out with it sooner. So that's going to be fun. But check those out if you haven't checked those out already. This is retarded. This is dumb, I have to say. ADHD, right? I don't believe it. I know. I studied psychology in school. But at a certain age, if you are, I would say, from the ages of 2 through 18, it's not a real thing. You have a lot of energy. You have an abundance of energy. Your body is going through hormonal changes at a rate that you can't keep up with mentally. So there's going to be times when you're paying attention. There's going to be times where your attention is fixated on things. Times when it's this burst of energy that you have that you lose subsequently throughout the years. Right now, I no longer possess the same sort of energy that I had when I was 18. I'm currently 33 years old. Going to be 34 in 2 months. So I'm up there, my friends. And I don't believe in ADHD as a child. Enough for you to give them fucking Adderall. If you're 15 and you're taking Adderall, your psychiatrist and or doctor should be shot. If you're taking Ritalin to calm you down and now you're a zonked out zombie at 15 and you're there just chilling all day, that's terrible for you. Your brain doesn't stop developing until you're 25. And imagine introducing these things that are essentially chemically altering your brain, probably permanently. I don't have any evidence to support that, but I'm just guessing it probably does some long-term damage on you. This is retarded. This is a person that has a caption saying living with ADHD and BPD. BPD, of course, being bipolar disorder. And bipolar disorder is also known for excess in manic episodes and episodes where you have no energy. That's one thing that I remember reading from my textbook, that bipolar disorder is not necessarily an aggression and lethargy. It's abundance of energy, overabundance of energy, and nothing. And nothing that you want to do. It's that, and you fluctuate between those two extremes. It could incur anger. It could incur points where you're angry and then you're just nothing. It's just empty, right? But from people that are faking it, they usually play up the angry. Oh, I'm so bipolar. Oh my God, I'm so ADHD. Look at this. No, ADHD is if the whole apartment is not arranged alphabetically, your mom dies within hours. That's essentially what you're thinking of, and it's a stress level, and it's from people that have actually had it. It's you can't compare it to oh my God, I just have to straighten out my pen here. Oh my goodness. Same thing with bipolar disorder. It's debilitating. So whenever you say I have bipolar, I'm so bipolar, it's probably the opposite of what you think it is. And there's two. There's bipolar 1 and bipolar 2. So it's like a sequel, which is kind of funny. So this is somebody who set up a camera. I'll just show it.
Checked on you today? Who checked on you this week? Fuck it. Who checked on you this month? Yeah, and I don't mean checked on you as in they want to get high, they want to get drunk, they want to use you for a motive. I mean checked on you just to see if you was okay. I mean checked on you just to see if you want to catch up over a coffee. Not these people who've always got a personal gain or a personal motive from it.
Stupid foot got stuck.
No, those people don't care about you. They don't care about your mental
What
health.
a dumbass.
They don't care about your career, and they don't care about your relationship.
Of course, the comments are just great. They set up the camera. Anytime you see these stupid messages where, or these stupid videos where it's like, like I understand there are things that are emotional and there's different ways that people cope. But my husband passed away, and they're recording themselves just mourning. The process to do that, you set up the camera, you found the right angle. You then took the phone back, you edited the video. If you didn't re-record it, you edited the video, You had to pick the caption. You had to pick the text. You had to then, I don't know, maybe find a song. You then had to go to the end. You had to remove the CapCut logo. You then had to find the right resolution. Then you had to find the right frame rate, and you had to press export. All those steps you had to do. And you're telling me in none of those you thought, maybe this isn't a good idea. No, you're looking for pointless validation online. Meaningless online points. So I saw that, and it's just, boy, is it dumb. She's just kicking through the door. Let's see if that, and then let's see what, oh, sorry, I missed the ending of that. Of this person with bipolar disorder. And then she looks at the camera here. Oh my God, what did I do? I'm so sad now. I'm so sad. I can't believe what I did. I can't believe what I did. I'm so bipolar. Almost as if she learned what bipolar disorder is from movies that typically don't get it right for effect. Where it's like these immediate episodes of manicness followed by I'm so sad right now. That's not what it is. That's not even close to what it is. ADHD, BPD, bipolar, and autism are the most self-diagnosed things ever, usually by purple-headed girls with nose rings. Yeah, and they substitute personality for mental disorders. That they, it's retarded. Isn't borderline BPD? Let's see. BPD, it could be borderline. I could be retarded. BPD, borderline personality disorder. Yeah, I'm retarded, borderline. But borderline is a person's ability to manage their emotions. So I'm wrong. I'm going to take an L here because technically that's maybe how you would behave under borderline personality disorder. But let me just defend myself here momentarily, my friends. I might not be all wrong because there's a fake comorbidity here. Having an ADHD and a BPD where you still have to set up the camera and go through the whole motions of it. So I'm technically not wrong. I'm right because you still have to go through the motions. And as somebody who's probably living with those disorders, you wouldn't do all that shit. You wouldn't do all that shit. You just have the episode and then you'd move on. But you wouldn't set up the camera, record yourself, pant in front of the camera. So I'm right. I'm not going to apologize. I take it back. Fuck you. I'm right.
What kind of America is this? Yes, put it on.
But you're right. It is borderline personality disorder. That was always one that was retarded when it came to the tests for psychology. I would always get them mixed. And then bipolar 1 and bipolar 2, you have to know the specific differences. And I remember the students having a hard time with that. And you could see why. But they are, as Corn Pop says, they are ridiculously self-diagnosed disorders. Oh my God. I'm so depressed. I'm just sad all the time. I'm just sad. It's like, it's not sadness. It's energy. It's your inability to want to do anything. It's no motivation. It's not sadness. Sadness would be an emotion. Living up... Salatzer says, should be titled, Living Without My Security Deposit. My son has ADD. He just likes to jump. That is funny. Just self-medicate with liquor and ibuprofen. I don't know what HD is, but my doctor says, I got 80 of them bitches. 34, time to get TRT. I don't need TRT. That voicemail had better production values than most of the pick. No, never mind. Have you seen a video of the cat saying the N-word in front of 2 little black kids? It's hilarious. I have not seen that video. Okay. Mr. Pig, please don't skip my comment. I'm a woman in the world trying to prove girls could be funny too. Let's see what Danielle said. Going through and looking for Danielle's comment. And Danielle only asked me if I was a teacher. I don't see your other comments here. Unless I missed one. Piggy teacher. You asked me if I was a teacher twice. And then that's about it. So I don't think I stepped over your comment. I apologize for that. Especially in your month, Danielle. Corn Pop says here, BPD, bipolar disorder, white woman disease. That is true. BPD is big piggy dick. Them finding the perfect camera angle was the ADHD. Them smashing the wall like a mongoloid was the BPD. I don't like that you guys are funnier than me. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I agree with you. What really grinds my gears is that they're all genuine disorders for real sufferers, which are leached upon the worst humanity to explain their terrible behavior. That is true. That is true. Also, I don't want to get into that topic. Never mind. But you are shitting on people with genuine disorders. There's a person years ago, Mr. Medicare, made a video on self-diagnosed Tumblr bitches and how they had these whole Tumblr accounts dedicated to their disorders that are never clinically diagnosed. They're always self-diagnosed, and they're always experts on these things that they never even studied. They never even went through any sort of academia for. They just found it and they say, I'm with a couple of those symptoms. That's me. And you're undermining what is a person with genuine schizophrenia. The other one was on people that they call themselves what's it fucking called when you have, it's not multiple personality, but it's like the cute way of calling it, that you're duplicitous, that you have, it's when you have a lot of people living inside of you, like living inside of your head, and they think it's quirky, and they go, oh yeah, no, right now you're talking to Sean right now. Oh wait, hold up. Oh, now you're talking to Samantha. And I have my own quirks. And they think that it's cute, essentially, playing on schizophrenia. No. People with schizophrenia typically kill themselves because they can't deal with the things they're seeing, the things they're experiencing, unless they're medicated. But there's a term. It's not two-spirited. There's something along the lines of that. That's when you have a lot of people in you. Same thing with people that they think they're like wolves. No. I'm really an animal. I was born as a dragon. I have a dragon inside of me. You just can't see it. This is my human form. It's just all retardation, and not clinical retardation. It's social retardation. Danielle says, teacher, number 1. Number 2, professional magician. Piggy's third evolution is a pedophile. I can't zoom in, but let me see if I could do this. I like my women of age, Danielle. Thank you. All of them are of age. I make sure I check IDs. I verify. Okay. I visited my friend at a local university recently to help him with some photography stuff. Boy, did I fall in love with all of those university students. Let me be clear. Of age individuals. I just kept walking down to where he was, and I was just... Bam, I love you. Bam, I love you. Bam, I love you. Please, please, please. I just kept falling in love with everything that I saw in that university. Let's hear another voicemail. First of all, let me refresh. I think we got a couple. Yeah, Mike. So let's hear what Mike has to say.
Hey, Piggy, it's Mike. You know, you've been complaining about the bad voicemails that you've gotten lately. Hopefully mine have been pretty good. But I realized that I figured I might have a way to finger the I was trying to figure out where the clues pointed. Oh, shoot, sorry. When I put the clues together and I cross-referenced everything, I found an index of the. Oh, shoot, sorry, the viewers. Forget it. I just don't know how to hand it to you, Piggy, on this one. Sorry. Okay, bye.
That was rough, Mike. I got to tell you, Mike, you usually hit it on the head. But that was pretty aggressive. A rare miss by Mike. If you enjoyed it, you enjoyed it. I personally did not, which is why I decided to pour myself a little bit more rum and Coke. As I mentioned before, I'm drinking caffeine-free cola from Publix. If you want me to afford regular Diet Coke from Publix, which, by the way, not a lot of people can do anymore. My goodness, Coke has been overly inflated. Fuck. This, by the way, a 12-pack, $3. All right. Even if I can't afford Coke. It's a joke. But a 12-pack of Coke now is like $8. This is $3 for a 12-pack. I've seen them as high as about $9 for a 12-pack. That shit used to be about $4 for a pack. And you'd have a bunch of Coke. Now they're very, very expensive for essentially what is mind control potion, which is kind of lame. So I'm sticking with the Publix kind. I still appreciate your comment, Mike, there. Don't think that I'm unappreciative of your voicemail, but I consider that a rare miss. Speaking of a rare miss, this is a perfume. Perfume is offensive. I don't know if you were aware of this. Perfume is, or rather, being I was gonna say reprimanded. My goodness, I had a brain fart. Being complimented for perfume is racist. So let's go and see what this individual, who definitely is in a community college, has to say about that.
But listen, we need to have a conversation. I know y'all give compliments a little bit.
Now, here's the other part too. Let me just cut back here. There are certain keywords that when you know, you're going to hear, that you know that the rest of that conversation is going to be AIDS. One of them is conversation. Another one is intersectionality. Spark a dialogue. A discourse. If you see these words, these are red flags waving in front of you, saying, hey, whatever you're about to hear is a terrible take. So we need to have a conversation. Is just ripe for having what could be the worst take imaginable. And it might be. So let's hear.
But listen, we need to have a conversation. I know y'all give compliments a little bit different because of y'all culture or your lack thereof, but we got to talk about this physical boundary y'all are.
Did you see that? Little bit, lack thereof. Now the whole thing is, my culture has culture, yours is made up. There's a whole thing. No, all right, that's not the way things work, my dear. And if you think that, then you're obviously somebody that doesn't know history because you were too busy, I don't know, going to stupid classes, stupid made up classes that for some reason your college decided to provide out of tax purposes. So
your lack thereof, but we got to talk about this physical boundary y'all are constantly violating. I was not touched this time, but let me just give you the backstory. Earlier this week, I was in Walgreens. There was a little old white lady standing in front of the nail selection. I was in front of the eyelashes. I'm in Florida. I feel like that's important to the story. Anywho, she was like, is that you? And I was like, I beg your pardon? She was like, that smell? Is that you? Well, I wanted to say, well, whoever smelled it dealt it, bitch. But I felt like that was a little assertive for an 80-year-old woman on a Tuesday morning. So
she's so quirky too, right? You know how fast she's talking? Oh my God. You could tell that she's just a wonderful person to know based on how quickly and quirky she's going through her little story here. My goodness, I'd love to be her friend if I had my gun nearby.
I was like, well, what does it smell like before I claim it? So she was like, oh, it's very fragranty. I extended my arm. She sniffed. She said I smelled lovely. Fine. Good compliment, whatever. Well, why am I in TJ Maxx? Okay, the same place I get this mug because y'all are always asking me. I'm in TJ.
Thank you, T-Mobile. Let's just make sure that we could get through this, you and I, together. Now I'm going to scroll through my likes. You're going to see things that I'm favoriting. All right.
I know y'all give compliments a little bit. Lovely, fine. Good compliment, whatever. Well, why am I in TJ Maxx? Okay, the same place I get this mug because y'all are always asking me. I'm in TJ Maxx 4 minutes into my shopping experience, and I am sniffed from behind like a bitch in a damn dog park. What the fuck is going on? So for a second, I paused, and I was like, is it my boyfriend? Because, you know, boyfriends do that weird thing. Sometimes they just want to sniff you, and then I said, I do not have one. So it could not be that.
Not a shocker there, my dear.
I turn around and a white lady is standing so close to me. Had she pursed her non-existent lips, she would have kissed me. So she's like, sorry if I startled you. You smell wonderful. Startled me, bitch. I almost passed out on this motherfucking floor. I'm going to get my reparations one way or another.
I'm going to get my reparations. She probably has no ancestry. None whatsoever. That's linked to that. And this whole point is on how essentially how it's against her culture, right? It's insulting. Now, I was in Winn-Dixie. I've mentioned this before about a year ago, and I just put on a nice cologne that I just bought. And some black lady that was a postal worker, she starts smelling the air, and she goes, "Ooh! Damn, boy, you smell good." Like that. I'm not exaggerating. That's how she said it. And I go, Me? I smell good? Like that. That's how I said it. And she goes, "Yeah, man, you smell delicious." And I go, "Thank you. I really appreciate that." She goes, "Man, you better not be walking around in these parts because you smell." I'm like, damn, man. I was smiling for the rest of the day. At no point in time did I think Man, this black bit. I didn't think anything racially. I thought, wow, what a nice compliment. Instead, you have these people that are living their lives perpetually offended, looking for things. Everything becomes something. They're miserable. They're desperate. They're trying to claw onto something because they have nothing significant in their lives. You saw her say, oh, because I don't have a boyfriend. We know that. We could tell, my dear, that you don't have a significant other with that attitude and your little mug. Imagine if I did this entire show holding this. Hey, guys, look at this. I'm so trendy holding my little cup, speaking so quickly. You think I'm intelligent. I digress. You have these people that are looking for things throughout the entirety of the day to reaffirm their beliefs. Their stupid beliefs, to be honest, that there's an issue going on, especially here in the United States, where anybody could do anything. You can make money doing videos. You could do anything you want. There's a free market. And you think you're oppressed because, I don't know. And then you want to live for other people in other countries that might be oppressed. So a lady giving you a compliment, two people giving you a compliment about your scent becomes an issue, becomes a problem with the cultures. We've reached it, my friends. We've reached peak retardation in society where we have no problems. We have no issues. You could order food that comes to your door. And we're looking for things. We're trying to scrape through, or these type of people. And I don't mean these people in a race. I mean these types of individuals that look to be perpetually offended. They look and they live their day scraping by for an ounce of something that's going to make their lives relevant because they realize their studies in school led them nowhere. They realize that they've wasted opportunities in life because they're perpetual victims. So what could you do? What could you do? Oh, let me monetize my victimhood. Oh, God, what a fucking unlovable dog that girl is. Unlovable, wet dog that bitch is. And it's unbelievable because they're always looking for something, even if it's a positive. If I get a compliment from anyone, I'm taking it. My day is happy. I got a compliment the other day on my watch. I was in line at Publix and some guy goes, hey, man, nice watch. And I go, thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's a Casio. And he goes, yo, Casios. He said some stupid comment about, I'm sure, watches in general. But I'm like, yo, you got to do what you got to do. And it made me happy because I'm like, oh, shit, man. You know, I got a little compliment on my watch. I didn't think at some point, why the fuck was he saying that to me? Is it because I'm a marginalized race? Is it because I'm this or that? Imagine living your life that way. It's exhausting. It's fucking frustrating because everything can be seen through the lens of that. And any incident that you might have is going to be seen through that perspective. And they think it's normal. They think they think that that's a part of their life. They think that's their oppression. That's their oppression to her. This woman is oppressed because somebody complimented her cologne. Because two different people complimented her cologne. It must be nice to be able to have oppression because somebody gave you a compliment. Makes you wonder about people in other places in the world where oppression is them being stoned to death for having a different set of beliefs. Imagine for just a second that you're in a different part, that you were born in a different body, and you have a belief in your head. Well, that belief in certain places in the world is enough to get you killed. But your oppression here is because two people gave you a compliment. Or somebody may or may not have said something about your hair. Oh my God, I love your hair. Oh my God, this dreads comment again. Must be nice to live in a country where that's your oppression, my dear. So that's perpetual. And unfortunately, it's I would say endemic at this point, at least social media wise. Obviously in person, you never encounter these individuals. They're pussies. They'll never say anything to your face. They'll never do anything to your face. But in social media, they're just rampant. Corn Pop says, I want to be behind her so I could say, you smell nice. Black people usually stink, just to give her something to freak out about. I read that. I didn't say it. I read it. A big guy told me I smelled good ones. I just came out of a Burger King. Well, we know why you smelled good. Lee Sharp says, I'm going to make a video soon titled Dear Black People just to see how well it's received. I plan including a bunch of Jesse Lee Peterson clips. Fuck. Danielle says, cackles in Capricorn. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Oh my God, she's acting like such a Capricorn. You star reading, crystal eating, tarot card worshipping, essential oil sniffing. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Tired of this shit. Danielle, of course, being based as fuck.
What kind of America is this?
I'm kind of hammered. I haven't eaten today a lot. Yesterday I had about 6 slices of a Papa John's pizza, and I have 3 left over, so I didn't eat today, knowing that I would have the calories from a Papa John's pizza, even though each slice is approximately 200 calories, 240 calories, give or take, which isn't anything by any means, especially when I haven't eaten anything. But imagine you add rum and Coke to that, you're going to get pretty trashed pretty quickly. But it shows you, look at that. This is me hammered. This is what you would get with me trashed. Corn Pop says she wore perfume to smell good, and she got mad because that you nailed it. You know what? You're gonna get the pin of glory for that, my friend. You're gonna get the pin of glory for nailing it. That's exactly it. You put on cologne. You might be a cologne British cigarette like me, where I like to try different scents and I like to smell myself. But you're putting on cologne typically to acquiesce, to cater to other people, essentially, because you want to smell nice socially. You want to smell nice to other people. And a lot of people wear cologne to get compliments. You know, it's a thing that people typically would say, oh, wow, you smell really nice. It's a nice social thing. And you complain when the very thing happens that you probably put on the perfume for. I want to know what perfume she put on, by the way. Let's see. Let me try to look at her and gauge what perfume she would be wearing. So I'm going to look at her. I'm going to turn off the audio. I can't watch it again. Pink Sugar. Aquafina Pink Sugar. 100%. Which, by the way, I have. It's right there. It's right there. It works pretty well on certain skin types. On me, I like sweet stuff. My favorite perfume is Ariana Grande's Cloud. And not Cloud 2.0. It's not as good. Cloud. It's a really nice scent. It's a unisex, I would argue. So for sure, she smells like Pink Sugar, which is the clubbing scent for a girl that looks like her. A middle-aged woman said I smelled good with Acqua di Gio Absolute, and then roped in the supply closet so hard I burst every blood vessel in my eye. I then roped in the supply closet. That's top tier. I can't give you the pin of glory because I just gave it to somebody else, but that is top tier. Piggy's only ever met black people from post-Civil War Reconstruction period. Hungry and Hungover says the world's strongest man put on glasses and a sassy voice with a magic mushroom cup and unleashed her gimmick in the world, the TikToker. I wouldn't go that far. She was an extra on Gilmore Girls. Damn. Did you look her up? I'm willing to bet that that's accurate, probably. I hate it when people make videos holding food and drinks, especially mugs. You see that very often, too, by the way. It's kind of like a sassy thing. Like, oh, yeah, you're not going to believe what I have to say here. I'm going to tell you my story here. Oh, my God. Lack of culture. Certain people that have lack of culture. Shut up. Fuck. You're propagating on white culture with the stupid mug. That's a white bitch thing. So shut up. That's what I said to my mom when I got the pin of shame. Corn Pop, you got 50 pins of glory, dog. You're on fire. That's fucking funny. I usually wear oud as a fragrance, which is Arabic in origin. Funny to weed out people sometimes. The little things that make me smile. Gets me through the day. Oud is a good one. I have a couple scents that are oud forward. It's very Arabic. You're right. Oud is very expensive, so a lot of people fake it. But the ones that I have a fake one of oud for greatness called oud for glory. That smells pretty much the same, which is phenomenal. And then I have a couple other ones. But what Arabs do typically is that they put the name oud on everything. So they might say like, oh, fucking fantastical oud, right? Even though there's no oud notes in there. Oud is like a wood. So it's a very woody scent. I'm a fan. So this one, let me see if there's one more voicemail here. Let me check. Andrew left a voicemail. Let's check out what Andrew has to say. Andrew, of course, Magic Buzz. Your decks should be on the way to you. They should be on the way to you.
Hey, New York, play this 383 million times. Go fuck yourself.
Hey, New York.
Hey, New York.
I agree. New York is a cesspool. It's a shithole. I remember when I went there. I've been there, I think, twice, which is not a lot. But I went... that's fucked, Nicholas Jordan. Authentic Oud for Glory is called a suicide vest. I look like Kyle Purnell. Case in point, yeah, New York is a shithole. You go there and there's trash in the streets, and then they say, no, they pick them up. But then why is it there? Why is it not in a receptacle? Why is it just there in bags and there's rats everywhere? No, thank you. Hoeflation is the name of this episode. Hoeflation, and for a good reason. It's a problem. It's an issue. And this one in particular is a good example of that, where we are rewarding hoes. We are rewarding slut behavior. Whatever happened to relationships, my friends? Whatever happened to relationships? I'm not going to lie. I went through a little bit of a hoe phase after I left my last relationship, because it was an 8-year relationship. And you would think, oh, shit, fuck, you're going to be with someone forever. And then you end up losing that person. So you end up, fucking around. That's the thing. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of it. I never felt good about it. But, you still do it. It's not a thing that should be rewarded. It's not a thing. It's not an aspect that should be blessed or looked forward to. And here we have an example of a hoe and hoeflation. So let's go and show you exactly what I'm talking about.
Princess treatment only, and I just met a guy who does just that. If you're new here, welcome to my dating diaries, where I overshare my dating life in New York. This guy slid into my DMs on Instagram saying that...
Now, the New York girl is also very, very different. The New York girl is a girl that overpays for an apartment with probably 17 roommates. She pays for an apartment on, I don't even want to say Queens, but she overpays for maybe an apartment in Manhattan, somewhere there in a very shady neighborhood with, not exaggerating, about 6 roommates. And she thinks she's a girl boss because she manages to get a lot of dick. Now, the thing about New York is that, again, it breeds this sort of type of individual that's a finance bro, one of these dudes that think they're in Wolf of Wall Street. They sell something stupid and menial. Their jobs are consultants. And these girls get around. They bang a lot of these bros, and they think somehow that they're worth more because of it. And again, I remind you of the analogy of the key, right? A key that opens a lot of doors is a good key. But a door that is opened by a lot of keys is a shitty door or a shitty lock. You get what I mean? And here, this girl, I'm going to overshare. I'm so quirky. I'm going to overshare about my New York dating life. She's an unlovable dog. That's the spoiler to this video.
Overshare my dating life in New York. This guy slid into my DMs on Instagram saying that my dating diaries are very downtown based and I should have an uptown edition. So let's call this guy Uptown Matt. I asked what a night uptown and
I've taken an Uber XL by accident once in my life. When I was a teacher and it was raining, I ride a motorcycle. I didn't want to deal with the rain, so I took an Uber. I accidentally ordered an Uber XL. And the guy said, hey, man, you know that you don't have to order an Uber XL for a person. You could just order a regular Uber. And I go, my bad, I fucked up. And I learned that mistake. I ended up paying I think like $40 for that trip. You're one bitch with a vagina that probably looks like this. Why are you taking an Uber Lux to whatever date you're going? Why? 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 There's no need. There's no need. You're overpaying for a regular drive or a regular taxi. But you got to make yourself look like a girl boss because your slit is no longer a slit, and now it's essentially a bucket. I'm sorry I keep stopping this, but it aggravates me. This is the first time I watched the video, by the way.
Tails, and he said shopping at Hermes and dinner at Daniel. At first I thought he was kidding, but then when he called me a car, I saw that the end location was Hermes on Madison Ave. Once I arrived, I met him inside the store and I was greeted with champagne, and then we went straight to the shoe section. I tried on the Oron sandals and was debating between the brown and white. He preferred the white, so I went with that. He then checked out and we walked over to Daniel. Uptown Man was an extreme...
He then checked out. This guy paid for a whore. A whore.
gentleman, and he told me he believes in princess treatment only. He talked me up like no other and told me I'm so worldly for a 21-year-old. We talked about our favorite spots in London, Paris, and Saint-Tropez. That's when I told him I'm going to Paris at the end of this week.
Rich
and
parents.
He offered to make me reservations while I'm there. He told me that I'm worth so much more than a last-minute reservation at some mid-bar downtown. Also, the food and drinks at Daniel was top tier. It was probably one of the best dinners I've ever had. This was the best part. At the end of dinner, he offered to bring me back to the kitchen to meet the chef at the restaurant. Before going our separate ways, we made plans to see each other.
Before going on our separate ways, he didn't even fuck her. He didn't even fuck her.
Once I'm back in town, he then called me a car and texted me immediately after. Uptown man sets the bar extremely high. Ladies, don't listen to any dusty man when they tell you your standards are too high.
I guarantee you she has rich parents and she's a socialist. I guarantee you. I'll put my entire life's worth, which isn't a lot. I'll put all of that on the fact that her parents are rich and she's a socialist. And she's like, oh my God, oh, Palestine, oh. I guarantee you, fucking-tee you that that's this type of dumb bitch. Why are you rewarding this behavior? Why are you rewarding a 21-year-old with things like that when she looks like this? And she didn't even give it up. Whatever bucket that you would have rubbed your penis on the side of to get some sort of friction, she didn't even reward you with that. And you know that she's probably going to go on another date. I know a girl that she does the same shit where she's like, I went on 2 dates today. You went on 2 dates today? Yeah, I didn't like the first one, so I went on a second date. Do you wonder why you're going to be alone for the rest of your life? Do you wonder, my dear, as to why you're never going to have a significant other? Maybe it's because you're going to 2 dates in one day. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's that mentality. Maybe it's that unlovable dog lifestyle that you live, where, again, it's like this. Imagine having a vagina like this and having an opinion. So would you rather drink out of a cup your significant other drank of 100 times or 100 random people drink out of once? Says Corn Pop. See you tomorrow, Slatzer. Slatzer, good night. Thank you for joining. Hoeflation, OnlyFans detected, opinions rejected, STD suspected, father most likely ejected. That's pretty good. You're an inspiration, says hungry and hungover. Usually I get pins of shame. I got a triple pin once. Yeah, you are the only person to get that. Danielle says hot dog down a hallway. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Hot dog down a hallway. You're just throwing a hot dog and it makes an echo sound as it rebounds in your vast cavernous vagina. Oh, I went to Hermes and he checked out. You got a Hermes shoe to a dumb whore that's going to be riding another dick that night. She's probably going to go home to her. Maybe she's rich. Maybe I was wrong about her having 17 roommates, but it's definitely not hers. You can't be a 21-year-old living in New York shopping at Hermes without a rich father. I'm sorry. It's not possible. You're not an entrepreneur. It's hard for a dude. It's hard for a chick. It's not a sexist thing to say. You're living off you're living off your rich parents. That's a fact. There's a 1% chance that I'm wrong at that. And you can't just say, oh, anecdotally, no, I know a girl that she was 18 and she's a coder. It's not the same. This girl's not a coder by any means. All right. The first thing on her Tinder profile is that she supports Israel. Fuck. She has a coexist bumper sticker on her Mercedes S-Class that her fucking father bought her. And she goes, oh my God, my life is so difficult. I have to go for a tire change for my S-Class. Daddy. As Bill Hicks once said, like cotton candy framing a paper cut. Fuck. Yeah, it's just a shit. Danielle says, I knew a girl in high school who went bragging about her girls and how she had 4 different dudes in a day. She was dating someone at the same time. That's the episode, my friends. I don't think we have any more voicemails. I've gone through all my topics. I've gotten frustrated today. This should be the angry episode. I might be back tomorrow, probably. More likely than not, considering today's a Tuesday. But I think I might have some engagements. We'll see. I thank you. I thank you guys for joining me here on the PigCast. If you were here live, if you weren't, then you should consider watching these live. They're fun. They're great. Tuesdays and Wednesdays typically is when I stream, whenever I feel like it. Although I feel like I have had the schedule of Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I greatly appreciate it if you've come here. I greatly appreciate it if you've purchased a missing piece deck, if you've joined the academy, even if you've I don't know, hit the like. I'm trying to do the car crash. It's not letting me do the car crash. But see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And as always, you know the key here. The key is to
big fucking tits.